sort out this static problem. So let's see what's up here.
So this plastic you're taking back, you want it in a roll?
Yeah, it's fine. Just roll,
Right.
roll it up big.
Yeah.
Let me don't start anything until
Okay.
I get this back.
Yeah, you don't want canopy material in an 1/8" tube.
Well, I hear static still. I don't understand what the heck's going on. Well, I hear static still. I don't understand what the heck's going on. Oh well, it's not as bad as it was. We'll just leave the mics off because, believe it or not, you can hear it through the phone, but it's not as bad. It's got to be the electrical lines around here or something.
Yeah. Well, there's all four sides of this, you know.
That's right. They're those big electrical wires. Yeah, that's what's up.
You got that, and you got these out in front, and you got these down the side.
All right, we'll just turn these off. We're just running on the cell phone stuff, so hopefully you can hear us okay. So go ahead and explain your...
Yeah, I'll speak up, you know, so that way. So this plastic is PETG, polyethylene something, I don't know. But it's 60 thousandths and
60.
30,000.
Yeah.
30,000.
Give me your mic.
So with this 30 thousandths plastic and this tooling board, we should be able to get some decent canopies out of it. So anyway, what I've done, strap tooling board, got a plug. This is a 3/4 inch box with 1/4 inch top and bottom. That'll hold the. Still need to make a frame that goes over the top. Now the idea was, it's been done on the internet a lot, the guys actually hinge this box with a lid that holds the plastic. So this is sitting up here. The plastic frame flips over, it sits on this heating coil, and then once it sags, flip it over and hit the vacuum and you're good. Now this thing, instead of going to a appliance store and trying to get something, a coil or whatever, I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get this $15 electric grill working. This electric grill has got a fan and a temp control, so you can actually get to the heat point. There's the coil, and then the fan is contained in the bottom unit. This thing just happened to be the perfect size for the canopies we were making. So between this and the box, this is scrap. It's probably have 10 or 20 bucks in tooling board here. And this is 14 or 15 bucks.
I'm going to try the sound again. They said the sound is fine.
So I think with all this stuff together, maybe 30 or 40 bucks. And you've got a vacuum former.
I think it is the high tension lines though, if anything.
Yeah.
All right guys, we're going to try the audio again. How about that?
All right, is that any better, I wonder? Got my green one.
We're all around high tension lines right here. I forgot all about that. Is the audio okay now? Check, check, check. I'll have to get on my phone and see. and see, I guess. Let me mute this. No background static. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what the deal was with the static. Which,
Yeah.
which one are you on? Yeah, I don't know what the deal was with the static. You're on the right one.
Oh well. It's one of those mysteries. Electronic mysteries. So anyway, that's in a nutshell here, pretty quick. 15 bucks. I think it's 15. Yep, 15 bucks for the little grill. And another thing you could do would probably be easy to do is take a toaster apart and take the heating elements in a toaster, and they're thin enough to where they wouldn't take up a lot of room. Take the toaster apart and lay those elements out, and maintain the controller on and off switch. But the neat thing about this, it's got the fan, and it's got the temp control here from 220 to 450. So I think this.
We can hear you there.
So anyway, here's Bob's doing board strap. He's going to get his P47 canopy hacked out of that.
You can't hear me now, or what? What's the deal? God, sound is pretty good for you.
Yeah. Pretty good for me.
Went bad again, so it must be this plug here.
Yeah.
How about there? I got no clue. Getting pretty aggravated with it though. It's that plug. Ah, it's this plug right here.
Okay.
This is the charging plug.
Yeah, charge your battery.
Yeah.
So when you charge your batteries, when you're
Yeah, when it goes nuts.
yeah. Well, that figured it out.
Doesn't like that.
Okay.
So we got 100% on this now. We can run for an hour or so. Okay.
Okay. So here, a grill, scrap canopy, plug, and we're good to go. So.
This is why Dan's not getting anything done. There's no place to move. All right. But it's perfect now. Okay, so that's what it is. It's the charging plug.
So here's something I'll show you. This was made by a guy in the club. This isn't Underwriter Laboratory approved. I'll tell you that right now. Some guy in the club years ago named Norm Schatz, he goes into Goodwill and he buys this Easy Bake toaster oven, Faberware. And here's these heating coil, okay? Here's these vacuum box, and this is set up to where they pull a hard vacuum on a, they take a vacuum bag pump and they pump down a tank with a valve. So it's not a vacuum cleaner, it's a hard vacuum. The way they had this thing set up, it's got a fan on it. Of course, then the heat coil up there you might not be able to see. And then you take these handles and it screws onto this frame. So your plastic goes in here. Okay, so once this thing has the handles on it, these handles go through the side of this cabinet. And as it goes through the side, you raise it up, and this plastic sits up here by the coils with the heat blowing on it. As soon as it starts to sag, you grab the handles, you lower it down here, and you pull your vacuum, or you pull your part. So it just goes to show you what you go in there at a Goodwill or these places, and you get this stuff for next to nothing. And you come up with something that's usable. So, and the heating coil here is about the same size as the one I showed you, but this guy went through a lot of trouble hacking the sides of this cabinet up, and it's even got a safety glass here, so when you're heating the plastic, close your glass. You still see it sag. Come in here and boom, you know, get a canopy. So I'm still going to try this. The problem was, why I haven't used this yet, is because we need to convert this to one of these here. So what we wanted to do is get a shop vac instead of the hard vac here, and then reposition one of these tables here with a shop vac.
We ain't gonna use that cabinet, are you?
No.
No.
That's why I went with the hinge thing. So that's another reason it's taking me so long. I just start fiddling around and going down these rabbit holes.
You need to quit monkeying with junk and get to sanding.
Yeah. So there's a Rube Goldberg vacuum former from probably vintage 1980. You know. And this whole table here is convenient. It's like cutting Bob's sheet up for his canopies. And like most things around here, it's overkill. You just lay the Lexan or PETG out on this table and run a track saw through it. So if you're in production and you're making canopies, what you do, instead of sitting here with an X-Acto knife slicing a 4x8 sheet up, you just stack 6 or 8 of these sheets together. You lay a track over it. You got to set your depth on your saw for your track though. So I'll clean the edge here, I'll show you. This track saw has got a height adjustment. The reason why this foam board is here, that's a sacrificial board, and it saves my workbench from being cut up. Now this trailer and this workbench, it's a construction site deal, it's not really hobby. Now, that's not a precision cut as far as chipping, you know, it's on the end it got a little chippy.
Should just cut it with a razor blade.
Yeah, but I was telling them, I said if you're in production cutting plastic up, you lay about 6 sheets of 4x8, you run a track, and you just start cutting them up at once. So that gave you, except for here it rattled, but pretty much a perfect edge. So let's say you're in the canopy making business and you needed to make 100 of these and you need 100 blanks. Just lay the track out and start slicing them up. No time at all, you got 100 blanks.
How much is that stuff, 4x8 sheet?
Well, I bought this wholesale. I'm not sure what they're paying for this stuff. All I know is I could sell this for 15 bucks and make a heck of a profit.
30,000 is what we're using.
30,000, yeah, PETG. The other thing is when you buy this stuff in a foot square or whatever, the people selling it, you know, the markup is actually going into processing and in the sheets. So you're paying for somebody to cut it up. But maybe down the line, if there's enough demand for canopies of certain types, you know, for just control line stunners, we'll get into kicking out canopies. I don't know. Believe it or not, this sheet is pretty reasonable. Let me put it this way. You can buy 4x8 sheets of this stuff and sell canopies really reasonable and still make money. I've got some sheets in here that are 10,000s and some that are 20, I think. The guys running these little foamy ducted fan jets were using the 10,000s for tubes. They'd roll it into a tube, and that was their duct for their EDF.
I'm going to make my Thunderbolt plug when I go home. This is very similar. This would have probably worked if it was just a tad longer.
Yeah.
Because the Thunderbolt, this might work anyway.
Well, we'll make some. I mean, that's my next project. I'm gonna.
But when you make this, if you want to make me one, make sure you set it up. Well, of course, then it would have a line on the bottom.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, you'd have to be taller.
Yeah. I got the plans in the car. But
yeah. I'll show these guys how this workbench works real quick. Let's say I was going to make another box, a vacuum box.
Yeah. I'll just make a plug. You know what else I got in the car here? Al Rabe's original Bearcat molds.
Oh, really? You've got that in the car?
Yep.
Wow. I can see that before you go.
You sure you want the peanuts?
The peanuts.
Yeah, it's packed in white peanuts.
No, I don't want them peanuts.
That's why it hasn't been unpacked.
Oh, yeah, don't mess with that.
Al sent them to me before he passed away.
Oh, man. So,
because he knew I'd take care of them.
Yeah, you will. So let's say you want to make one of these crazy boxes. Let's see, where's that vacuum box? I'll show you real quick how quick it goes.
We still got good sound, guys? Yeah, no, you don't carve it from a block of wood. You carve it from that tooling board.
So let's say I need to make another one of these boxes.
Only wider.
Yeah, well, the next one's going to be smaller.
It should be a foot square.
So 3 inches. I can go 3 inches. I'll make your box. I'll make any size you want. So I'll make it a fat 3 inches. The way this thing's set up real quick, and you can scale this workbench down to anything you want. You could even use a micro mark saw, or you could just, the sky's the limit. The way this is set up, this table saw actually sits on these tubes, so you're not bolting anything. You're pulling these tubes out of this workbench, and that's how long it takes you to set your saw up. Right there. That's all there is to it. You're just pulling the tubes out and setting it up. So 3 inches, a fat 3. I'll lock the saw down. So this is going to be my size of my box. So one strip, let's see, there's one side, another side. So I'll cut a couple more strips out, and then we can make these boxes any size you want. way to see how the saw is cutting.
Perfect.
Yeah, let's flip it this way, see if we're cutting a taper in it. Yeah, it's perfect for boxes. So here's some more scrap that was left over from a job. This has got a bevel on it. So what I'm going to do is knock this bevel off. Just come over here and move the fence up a little bit more.
Hey, you want to get this bevel?
No, I'll just leave that as waste. One of the things I like to do instead of remeasuring, I take the stock that I just had. It's hard to get the exact measurement. So I just take this fence and I just work that piece of wood in there to get the right clearance. That'll get me the side piece.
Model airplane's only bigger.
So this will make me some more vacuum boxes here, whatever Bob needed, and then also for
The mold does not show any grain because there is none.
yeah, the grain there. Yeah, like Bob said, this is like MDF, but it's not fiberboard. It's a composite material. I don't know what they make this out of. It probably
Superfill.
epoxy powder, yeah, epoxy or something, yeah. Just think of it as superfill on steroids. It's high temp, and the tooling board. This is high temp, but some of this tooling board scraps I've gotten. Some of this stuff comes in a lower temp, and it's the same concept. It's just a different material. It's not MDF, but this stuff sands like butter and you can finish it. So I've made plugs and stuff out of this. I think this is wrench shape 460, or it's a tan board, but no grain. So this would be good too for plugs. And like I said, the beauty of it is once you sand the 600 finish, you're good to pull apart. You don't have to coat it, seal it. It's dimensionally stable. It doesn't move under humidity, and it'll take the heat, won't distort. So, but it's pricey. But with that being said, if you can acquire this as scrap. Now this stuff that I've got here is scrap. Composite shops or tooling manufacturers that use this board, if they have pieces this size, a lot of times they just chuck it in a bin. Or you get on eBay and sometimes you can buy cutoffs and scrap that are reasonably priced. So if you have the time to actually sand and prime and finish it, you know, it might be cheaper dollar-wise, but then time-wise you're in the hole. The other thing, once you finish this stuff and you use the wrong finish on it, then you have the propensity or whatever to start pulling defects out of the paint or whatever you finish it with. So the tooling board to me seems like a good alternative at this point.
You made a canopy with fiberglass, but it was not so clear. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. Yeah, you got PETG, the plastic is what you need to use. Now this stuff here,
So you're making a box here?
yeah, this is material for a box. So if we make another one of these vacuum boxes,
I'd like to have one just this square right here.
that square,
Yeah.
okay. I'm going to show you how to do that. So let's do this. So we'll take the 45 off of this.
This is going to be a problem, isn't it?
Yeah, we'll get around that. Well, I think we'll get lucky. It could be. Okay, let's see what we get. I'm going to cut 4 pieces out of here. And really, you said you wanted a foot square?
Well, I'd rather have it this square. This is how long?
Yeah, that's this long. Let's see what we get. We'll use this up, and then we'll get rid of that piece that has a cut in it. See what we can get out of it. Let's take this thing and rip it down. Since we're in the rip mode.
Well, I hope this is interesting to you guys.
Something different. It's not the normal stuff.
But it is model airplane.
Yeah. Yeah, it's something, we're going down a rabbit hole here. All right, I'm going to come in here and grab this compound miter saw. We're going to cut these to length. It's one thing I hate about all these tools. It's this thing right here. I hate carrying this thing.
Well, you're going to learn about vacuum-forming canopies.
Okay, now the next trick is to get all these things the same length. Okay.
same length less, an inch and a half.
Right. Oh, you already took the one with the slot out of it, didn't you?
No?
It's in there?
Yeah.
Oh, here it is. Okay. Yep.
So two sides need to be an inch and a half shorter.
Yeah.
That doesn't matter because you can always cut it on your saw after you get the box together.
So if you want it completely square, you do this. See how I stagger those joints?
Yeah.
And that'll give you a square. Now otherwise, if you go like this.
Yeah, they need an inch and a half.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you want it square?
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll stagger the joints. So these feel like they're the same height. I cut them, I just got lucky, I guess, because when I cut these, I set the saw up a second time to get the second cut, but it's all right. So these are all good. Like I said, this is a box. It's not nothing that important. So since these are all the right size, we don't even have to worry about cutting these the length. Alright, I'm going to put this foam away.
This is a giant vacuum table right here. You see all the holes in it? All we would need to do is close up the sides and put a vacuum on it.
Yeah. Yeah, that would work.
This would do a 4x8 sheet of plastic. Did you see them guys at Boeing trying to mold the Horton 229 canopy?
Oh yeah, that'd be
Did you see that?
no, is it?
It's on YouTube.
Really?
I'm looking at this and I'm going, these are engineers. They got no clue of how to do it.
They figure it out though, I guarantee.
No, they didn't. They ended up cutting and piecing it together, but if we'd have been there, we'd have molded them a canopy.
Yeah.
How they did it was they had a great big oven with a piece of Lexan in it.
Yeah.
And they had the plug sitting outside the oven. They took tongs and they grabbed the plastic without it being in a frame. They slid it out on top of that thing and then tried to push it down with gloves.
Oh, wow.
I'm looking at this going, man, these guys are morons.
No, that was just disinformation for the rest of the world. We know how they're really doing. So, okay, let's get some glue on these things.
Now these were engineers. They had no clue.
I just drug a bottle of glue out of here, didn't I?
No, I didn't see it.
Okay. Let me find my bottle of glue. There it is. I left it in here. Do I have it? So this box is not going to be fine dovetailed joinery or anything. This stuff here, a Type Bond Ultimate Wood Glue, same thing you use to build airplanes with a lot of times. Works out really good on this. Just down and dirty. After a while, you can pretty much tell, you can feel a thousandth of an inch. You get it lined up. Get one nail in there, and then you can actually wiggle that nail a little bit. lined up. This one we want it here. I'll stagger it. A lot of this stuff here, a lot of this stuff on this jigging up, or you can make all kinds of fixtures for airplanes. This table saw on the bench. All right, hold it right there. Oh, dang fork.
Here, I'll align and you nail.
There we go.
Not yet. Hit it.
You're just gonna make a frame and heat it up in the oven?
Yeah.
Yeah. Lay her down flat. Make sure we get a flat box.
Nail it. Nail it. Tape measure.
You know how to tell if it's square?
Yeah.
Okay.
God, I would hope so, Dan.
Okay.
Close enough for my liking.
How you looking? Is it square?
Yep.
Here's a way to do it. I think hopefully you'll get both bottoms out of here.
No problem.
I think we're gonna be all right.
Yeah. Do I know how if it's square? God, I hope so.
I was just checking you. I bet you a lot of people don't realize that corner to corner.
A lot of people don't know what 3, 4, 5 is either.
Yeah, that's 90. Oh, look at that. We're going to be good. We got a top and bottom out of this. You can do that. This little table saw only has so much reach until you readjust the fence. Hopefully it'll work. Sometimes you have to put the fence in the next slot out. I just put it right on that too. I'll put a little extra on it because we can always
Belt sand it off.
or router it off. Okay, that'll get us where we need to be. Once I plug it in.
Run through again.
It'll go either way.
Yeah.
Looking good.
Got a little left over.
Left over there too.
Yeah.
It's amazing the way it works out in.
Yeah. If it's square.
So there should be enough height in this box to actually get your vacuum hose in there.
Hope so. If not, I'll do it on the bottom just like you did. Got me. Went right through my finger. Oh well. Got some, it came out the wood and went through my finger. Got some blood on your table here.
That's all right. Hey, here's some CA.
Yeah.
Here.
I need a paper towel.
Oh man, you really got yourself.
It got me through.
Got you good. Well, there's of course the kitchen sink too.
Nah, we're fine. We'll be good.
I've done it before, maybe not like that.
You'll be fine.
Does it hurt?
Not really.
Was it just fleshy? Yeah, you're good.
I'll be fine.
All right. They call those shiners. You had a shiner with it. Get the shiny come out the side.
They call this stupidity here. Charles cut his hand.
Yeah.
Oh, you got some coming out the side too.
No, that was yours.
Oh.
That was your other one. That's all right. Charles cut his hand and did what?
Put CA on it, and he said, "Man, that really works." No kidding. I've been doing it for forever.
I had an old guy, a trim carpenter, and there was two guys. An old guy that had been doing it 40 years, and a guy that, was a framer. So the newer guy, he says, "Let me show you a trick." He said, when you get glue like that, he said, what you cup your finger like that. And he said, when you run that finger down there, he said, it puts a perfect V on that glue. And it wasn't his idea, it was Tom's. So anyway, Tom comes in the room, and I said, "Hey, Tom." I knew that Tom was the one that told Mark. I said, "Tom, look at this. Look how good this works." I said, "If you put your finger in a V, and it makes a perfect fillet of glue." He said, "Yeah." He said, "I told Mark about it." I said, "Well, that's funny because Mark acted like it was his idea." Tom, laughing about it. But you know what? It's all these little things, and if you add them up at the end of an 8-hour day, it's huge.
Yeah, that nail went right through my finger, all the way.
What do you mean all the way?
It went in this right here and out right there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You think it got the bone?
No.
But just in the meat then?
Yeah.
Just think of it not all the way through. Just think of it as poking one side and the other.
Yeah.
I bet you pulling that off real easy, weren't you?
Yeah. I thought it would nail going straight, but because it's plywood, it hit it with some glue or something.
You can take virgin oak, and all it takes is the grain, just burl or anything. It's
I'm not a doctor and I'm not giving medical advice, but it does work.
Oh yeah. Another thing is people don't realize, if you really get down in the nitty gritty of these staples, if you look at these nails, they've got a wedge on them.
Yeah.
Okay? It's a chisel point.
Right.
If you run a chisel point and the chisel is going this way,
It'll go in.
it'll go this way or this way. If you run the chisel this way, it'll go this way or this way, but it'll stay within the board. So that's something to take into consideration. What did I do with my little knife here? Here it is. This little Weatherman is great for going through here and
That's yours there.
yeah, getting these little hickeys. This was mine. But you know, you're right. In plywood, you know, you just don't know where it's going to go.
But you were smarter than me and didn't have your finger down there.
Well, I've gotten bit a little bit. Not quite that bad.
Not a big deal.
So with this cordless router, what I've got is a bit with a bearing on the end of it. And this isn't anything special. This is woodworking 101, but basically this bearing here is going to ride against the box, and then once it cuts, the overhang is going to be flush with the side. I like these portable routers.
Pretty close for me to get going here.
Yeah, we're going to get this box. I'll get your laid out on the top here, and then do a quick wrap up, and we'll be out of here. Sticking up there. Just a little bit.
You missed this side, didn't you?
Nope.
Yeah, you did. That's the thing that'll really bite you.
Yeah. This is what I was trying to tell you with John. If you had that little portable set of the Dremel, it's got a variable speed too. So that gets it close enough when you run a block down it. You know, you got a nice clean joint. Here's another tip. When we have a whole bunch of scrap on the job site, 3/4 inch, like these cutoffs at an angle. So these are 45s right here, and I staggered it. So I tapered it, so if you need to sand and you're making cabinets, you can get up in a corner. The other thing is, if you put sandpaper on the 45, you know, you can come down like this, you know. Also, if you have to get underneath something, so this, and I offset some of these blocks like this, so then I can get this wedge underneath a face frame, or maybe if the face frame overhangs the side of the cabinet and you want to sand up to the back of the face frame, you know, without sanding the face frame, So these blocks, you know, allow you to do a lot of different stuff. And even modelers, you could get scrap and just start making different sizes.
No different than, you know, I have all kinds of different sanding implements.
Yeah. So just to get the idea going, you know, just to make the block to whatever you're trying to do. You don't have to buy sanding blocks. You can just start making them, you know. Make them exactly. I've even had places on the airplane that needed a narrow pointed block and I'd make it, you know. So, and then of course the laborious part, the hardest part of this box, once you lay it out, start drawing lines and putting a grid and then start drilling holes. So that's what Bob's going to do, hole drill.
You got a hole saw?
Yeah, you want the size for the vacuum port?
Yeah.
What size is your vacuum port?
Same as what you got here. Where's your vacuum?
This thing here, it's sort of funny because it's like a taper on it. It's, you know what I mean? It's,
yeah, that'll work.
so the way this is, and let's say it's not this size, let's say you end up with something different. If you go into Home Depot, okay, see that fits this.
Yeah.
If you go into Home Depot, they've got reducers. It's like 3 of them. It's like big, medium, and small.
Yeah, I know.
So you can start plugging these in. So the hole saw, I'll drill for this.
Because I don't have a hole saw at home. I got a drill press, but I don't have a hole saw that big. All right, guys, we're getting close to the wrap up. I got about 3 more hours drive.
Now, where did you want the hole at?
In the center.
Right here on the side?
Yeah.
Let me see how close I can get this. You might have to...
That's all right.
You might have to open it up with a Dremel. You know what I mean? Sand it.
Think I can handle it?
Yeah. It's all right making it bigger. You just don't want to have to make it smaller.
I can do that too.
I know you can, but you don't want to if you don't have to. I'll tell you what, when I first got this drill, I didn't give it the respect I thought I should. Because this thing will break your wrist. If this thing catches, I was in that trailer drilling a hole and I couldn't get a good hold of it. That hole saw kicked on that floor of that trailer and this thing torqued around and about broke my wrist.
Same thing with the drill I got in my car, which is a Porter cable.
Unbelievable torque.
Gear reduction.
Well, this thing, yeah, you get, yeah, that gear reduction. I remember another time this guy, HVAC guy I was working for, he had a big industrial aluminum body drill and I was drilling a hole.
I got a drill you won't be able to hold though.
Well, I couldn't hold that. It caught, and I was just a brute, strong kid, and I held on to that drill, and it was moving my body, and I was wrapping around the drill.
I have my dad's in the center.
In the center, right here.
Yeah, measuring's good.
So you had your dad's what?
I had my dad's Craftsman half-inch drill reduction drill. It will drive 10-inch, half-inch carriage bolts into oak all the way down. It'll break the head off of it.
Really?
If it stops, you best let it go.
Yeah.
Because it will break your arm.
Okay, I found center here. I'll show you something. I'll show you something else that's neat about this bench.
You know how to find center without using a tape measure on this?
Well, I measured 7.5. It was close. 7.5, 7.5, and then I split the difference.
Let me show you. Here, we'll just use this. I think this is long enough.
Put an X here, and an X here, and the center is the center.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's close enough.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exact center when you do that.
Yeah.
So the neat thing about the bench, as you can see, you can clamp on the side of it. That way you can get the right height. Hey, we got a birdhouse.
Yeah. Or a rat house.
Yeah, get some cheese. It's a rat house. Okay, grab a hold of that side. Now, moment of truth. Oh yeah, look at that.
Man, you're the coolest.
You get one of these pipes, cut this off, and by the time that sinks down and hits that,
It'll be fine.
yeah.
Thank you.
So let's do a quick wrap up. I'll show them a couple things in the garage here, and then we'll get out of here and shut the camera off.
You better. I'm 10 minutes behind, so.
Are you really? You're already 10 minutes in the hole?
Yep. So anyway, we'll do a quick wrap up, and then I gotta go. I got 3 more hours, 3 hours plus more to go.
So we're looking at the mess here. This is, I don't know, Bob hates this stuff.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Oh my God, this right here. This is a Cloud King, 1938 Free Fighter. Polyspan and dope. Now, Bob on the internet, he said, no, you got those ribs wrong. He said, that's not gonna be strong enough. I had him over here twisting it. He knows it's strong enough. And then what I'm gonna do, just for Bob's conscience, you know, like Paul Walker did, I'm gonna take these little riblets here. I'm going to put little ones right here between this post. I'm going to come out here. There's going to be little W's up here. And it's going to be aerodynamically perfect. So you don't need turbulators. If you get those little W's just right, it's going to turbulate that air over that high point, and it's going to be perfect. So there. I'm going to put the little W's in there. Yeah, I got this. USA 1, Blue Max. I got a bunch of stuff going on here, but another thing I did, and we'll shut this off, when I did this canopy, or this cowling, I took and I glassed the outside, and then I sanded the wood right down to the glass to where there's no wood. All I had is a glass edge, and then I put glass on the inside, so that way I could get that razor edge. No wood, just glass.
But the trick is, how much does this weigh? Where's the scale?
It's so light.
Yeah, I can tell you already, it's not so light.
You guess, how much you think it is?
This right here is 3/4 of an ounce.
3/4. Let me zero this thing in.
Should be a ½ ounce.
It should be a half.
This is probably, I don't know, close to an ounce. Between 3/4 and an ounce. You got some lumber here, buddy.
Yeah, there is. Now let's see. You're thinking. Okay, let's see what it weighs. See how many grams.
It's an ounce. Damn near an ounce.
Yeah. It's 4 grams shy of an ounce.
But you don't think my scale works very good, or what?
So yeah, it's a little heavy, but boy, it sure looks good, and that's what's important.
Yeah.
You know what though? I could have taken a lot more out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a whole bunch, like
yeah.
50% more.
I'm running behind. I don't have time.
Yeah, right. Dan says, I got this. He won't have an airplane next year.
I'm running behind. I got my I got my, what do you call it, the super fill on this thing. Knock on wood, no more dents here. This is ready for...
Need fillets on it.
Yeah, fillets, gap tissue, but now it's waiting for the canopy, so hence the rabbit hole of the vacuum former. So as soon as I get the canopy on, the fillets, flare it all in, the gap tissue goes on, old school, and then this will be rolling.
Did you have this is not Jap tissue, this is silk span.
That's gap tissue.
You got any more of this stuff?
No, that's it. I got that at Jack Sheik's Hobby Shop. That was, that was Jack. Pretty sure.
It looks like 80s or 90s.
Yeah. Made in Japan. What do you think? Here, pull that out.
No, I'm not. I wouldn't put that on my airplane.
Oh, look at it.
Oh, I thought it was this.
No, you gotta get it out. See that?
Oh yeah, that's good. That's the same stuff I had on mine.
Yeah. It's got a shiny side and a
that's
shiny
good.
up.
That's good stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, it's it's long overdue. Hey, 75 cents a sheet. I remember looking at that and thinking, I can't believe it's that expensive. Back in the 80s.
I bought mine for $15 a sheet, but it was 30 inches long.
Yeah.
That's specialty stuff.
If we only knew back then what we know now. So yeah, it's coming along. I got a lot of projects, a lot of stuff, and then I got Bob's Astro Hog. So Bob didn't have time to mess with that, rightfully so.
So you guys are going to be looking for Dan Winship building the Astro Hog and not Sparky.
Yeah, the other thing, I got this KA-10. Guy Markham out there is waiting for a foam wing. And I got these landing gear from him. And I got to figure out, or just send him those cores and let him figure it out. The problem is, it's that Russian gear that has to be plugged in. The only way to make that work is not my vacuum bags and my system. I got to get, like Bob Hunt, granite plates and 150 pounds of cinder blocks and weight that down. And I don't have that. So Guy might be getting his free wing and then getting his gear back.
Quit monkeying around and let's get the sanding. I don't want to see you sitting in the chair anymore. I want you out here, clear this shit off of here, and get out there, but get rid of this free flight crap and start sanding.
Yeah, I got a lot going. Yeah, right there is where I was going pretty good till I got to the canopy. No. And of course the USA 1, what I'm going to do is make a fuselage out of foam and then make a mold, and it's going to be a glass fuselage. I'm going to put the scoops in it, you know, the fairings and all that neat swoopy stuff. It's not going to be a flat sided, it's going to be teardrop back. And
well guys, I got to run. I'll catch you in St. Louis. We'll try to do a live stream later this evening when I get unloaded, so thanks for watching. Spent the day. Oh, I got a good steak dinner.
Yeah, that helped.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you later. Fair winds, tight lines. See ya.